Hello, girl greatness. I just stopped by today just for 1 second, just to joke you. I stopped by today to wake you up and shake you because it's time for you and I to wake up into our greatness and to our destiny and our purpose. I stopped by today to wake you up on how to detect the man monster. Listen, I want to give honor to Lori Pelzer for this wonderful, absolutely amazing function that she has pulled together for you and I. Lori has the vision for us to succeed. And for the past 5 years, she's been doing Girl Go Be Great conferences for us to not just go and lead, but go beyond great. So I want to encourage you today to talk to me. Let's just have a conversation. And let's just talk about how you and I can detect the man monster in our lives. Are you ready? Just go with me if you will. In each and every one of us, there are some greatness that we have in our body and our mind that we want to do. And there may be some things that you and I have in our life that have been holding us back. If you're like me, I had some things in my life that happened that absolutely held me back for years, 10 years. But before I tell you that, let me introduce myself. I'm Renee Garner, a woman after God's own heart, a woman that is on a mission to change lives, a woman that has support now from people that believe in her story and her dreams of resilience after being left for death in a hospital, after going through a coma after delivering a child, after being abandoned by my true love. I'm here to stand today and tell you, whatever's holding you back, whatever situation that may be abusive to you, you can change it all. You have the power and the resilience on the inside of you. And I'm here today to share with you what I did to detect my man monster and move forward into my greatness. See how you can detect the man monster. It's very simple. I'm going to take a quote with you, if you don't mind. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It's not proud. It does not dishonor. It's not self-seeking. It's not easily to anger. It keeps no wrongdoing. Love does not delight in your evil or your shortfalls. Love rejoices. See, you're asking me how to detect the man monster. See, that's a biblical principle that we all know. But how does it look in your life? Does it look controlling? Does it look like he's annihilating you from your family and friends? See, does it look like you have lost your true passion, dreams, and goals? Does it look like you perhaps may have submitted your life unto a man? See, let me just tell you guys. The amazing thing of understanding how to detect the man monster is very simple if we just take this key. So grab your keys and shake them in your hands because I'm about to tell you the key. The key to detecting the man monster is if the relationship is pulling you from your dreams and is not making you happy and you can't go forward, but rather feel like you're going down and you're not really living your life to your fullest potential. Your dreams, your goals, your passion. The kids have taken up all your time. You can't do this because Bob has to go to the gym. You can't go out with your girlfriends because no one's going to keep the kids. Those are necessary things to do, but if you're doing all the work, you have now just detected one key in your relationship of a man monster. And that key is taking you for granted. See, what I would like for you to know is I took myself for granted too. I lost myself for 10 years. God gave me a vision to pull forth a book called The Man Monster. 10 years ago, I had a man monster in my life. 10 years ago, I, as confident and as strong as I was then in business, in relationships, so I thought, I got lost. in my relationship. See, I submitted too soon. And the wonderful thing about life is, if you believe that God is a jealous God and he gives us those God-given desires and dreams to go out in the earth and fulfill and do what we're called to do, when you get in a relationship, whether it be dating, married, or engaged, God don't want you to hide your ideas and your purposes. He wants you to birth forth those things. He wants you to do those things. And if you're married and with your significant other, he has called that man to help you along the way, to love you so that you can do all the things that you're called to do. That's the key. So if you're in a relationship right now, and I implore you to go back to your infinity level, the two number 8s. That's the infinity symbol, just like this. And just go back to that and think about your shared vision, which is up top, your vision, and then what you assumed things in your relationship should be. That's a way to detect where things went wrong. And if you think about it, if you go back to your vision of what you called to do and what you wanted your relationship to be, and when you met that man and that person in your life, and you guys talked about your shared vision and what you assumed and what your goals were going to be for each other collectively, together, and individually, and if you found yourself in a place where you've gotten a little bit lost, if you find yourself in a place where you're not feeling right and you feel like you're being abused, and maybe you don't even know you're being abused. See, I did not know I was being abused. I thought my man loved me. I thought when he fussed and brought me all this food, and as I was getting bigger and bigger, I thought that that was a part of the process. But I got to know and understand and love myself enough to preserve myself. See, ladies, I want you to know right now that self-preservation is not a bad word. Self-preservation doesn't mean that you're selfish. Self-preservation just means you are preserving your will of what you want to do. You're giving to the family. You're giving to your husband. You're giving to your boyfriend. But what is it that you're called to do? And that's my job here today. If you're in a position where you feel like you've lost yourself, the number one thing you need to do is D. Determine that you're going to change. Determine that you're going to see yourself great. Determine not only that you're going to see yourself great, but you're going to make a decision and do. So for detect, the D is for do. Do something for yourself. Create your business plan. Create your goals and get ready to move forward. Number 2, you have to know now that you've determined to do. Now you have to understand, once you put out your goals, there have already been obstacles assigned to you. Yep, that's right. I said it. So if you believe that there is good and bad, then you have to believe that in your goal setting, there's obstacles that's going to help you, and then there's hindering blocks that will try to stop you. So I'm going to teach you today that now that you've determined to do something to derail from the situation you're in, that as you move forward, and rest assured, the goals have been established by you. Also, there have been obstacles that are set to stop you from moving forward. Be prepared, because when that happens, you just look at those obstacles and say, hey, I was looking for you. I knew you were coming, and I have gotten a plan. Because guess what? You planned for it. Now you know how to handle it. No longer is it, oh, woe, it's me. I can't move forward. Bob was right. Let me just take care of the kids. Maybe I'll do this once they go off to college. No, you plan for it. You plan that you'll take your 2-year-old to daycare, and you come home and you do your business plan. You plan for while he's sleeping, perhaps you'll work on something for yourself. No, you plan for during daddy daycare time for him to take the kid out, and you stand firm to that. It's okay. So E. The E is for energy. See, I just mentioned to you that you're going to have some goals and some obstacles that will come your way. You got to have the energy to push through. You got to have the energy to birth your baby through. You got to have the energy to move forward. Because if you don't and give up, you'll get tired and you'll go back to doing nothing, feeling bad about yourself. So ladies, let me just share with you and encourage you. I believe in you. I know you can do it. Sometimes as you're moving forward with this, if you lose energy and lose hope, you begin to torment your own self in your own mind. If you're like me, it was everything that was going on. I mean, the kids wouldn't go right. The child's daddy wouldn't come pick them up. I mean, it was just a tormenting thing. Why? Because I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how to handle those things. See, when I grow up, I had my mom and my dad. So for me to have two men monsters in my life, yes, I did. I said two. Two men monsters in my life, that was foreign to me. So I had to learn how to balance life, work. I had to learn how to juggle those things. It is hard. I get it. And because it's hard, and because I'm sharing with you, you have to establish your goals. And because I'm sharing with you, you have to plan for risks and obstacles. Then you will not have the torment that I did. So if you don't push forward and detect what the man monster is doing in your life and how you can establish yourself, then you'll have that tormenting in your own mind of what's going on. He'll begin to bother you. You'll begin to be hurt. So plan for that. So when you realize that you're being tormented, whether it's by the obstacles that are coming through, you have to go back to your vision. What is your vision for yourself, your family, your kids? What is the self-preservation rule that you put into your heart? Now, when there's issues that will come up, and there are, you're going to have to understand that your emotional intelligence is a key. Now, I just learned that, let me tell you, because I am the one that found out some bad stuff, and I am the one that was heartbroken and crushed, and I am the one that had the emotional intelligence probably a little bit. So don't do what I did and post stuff on social media. Stay away from social media, okay? Social media is not going to help you doing your emotional development because it will be emotional. You just found out your man is cheating. You just found out, you're left by yourself. You just found out that you had to close your business and start from scratch all over again. You just found out you have no support in the household. You might even be getting hurt and beaten. That's a very serious thing. And to you, I say, develop your exit plan because that's very serious. I was there too. Develop that exit plan for safety first before you start to do it. Emotional intelligence is the key. Emotional IQ, that's the key. I'm teaching you now to hold your composure. Get the information, gather the facts before you begin to say. And after you gather the facts, go into your prayer time and figure out what you want to say before you even say it. Yes, I know it's hard to do, but it's very important that you do it. Why? Because it will keep you from getting things like heartbroken. Some people actually pass away from heartbroken. So emotional IQ, control your emotions so that you can maintain a level of confidence and hear what's going on. And even then, have good, trusted people in your ear that you can speak to. Those good people may be like one of my girlfriends who basically was with me on every man monster that I've ever been, true story. And she heard my man monster story. She kept saying, he can't keep doing all this stuff. Well, maybe the woman didn't mean he blew a kiss at her. She would tell me stuff like that. Maybe the woman didn't mean to tell you he blew a kiss at her. Maybe he was trying to shake her hand. We kept coming up with excuses for it. And then I even came up with excuses too. That's just the way he is. But see, that's not true. My mind was trying to tell me that. My heart was trying to tell me that. But the truth of the matter is, it's really a reality thing. So once I came up with perception and realized I was being duped, my emotional intelligence wasn't there. It's very important to talk to somebody and have that person in your ear because she gave me that balance that I needed. She, my dear friend for 20-something years, was able to say, you know what, I think it's about time you develop your exit plan. See, one of the things that I also realized, and I'm going to the letters of the text, the C in the text, is communication is the key. When you first start dating someone, you never envision that you're going to date a man that's going to abuse you, hurt you, talk to you down, make you feel subpar, control you, treat you like you're belittling them, backbite, talk about you. You never want that in a relationship. And ladies, when you see that happening, or even when you hear it from someone for the first time, that's not the man for you. He's just simply not. Why? Because I taught you 1 Corinthians says love is patient, love is kind, love is gentle, and holds no fault. Love, it conquers all. So if you are in a relationship with someone that's doing that, then obviously when you first met them, your communication with them and their communication with you was their alien, their alias, their first person that they see. And then when they start to turn, you really didn't realize it because you were still dealing with that first person that you met in your heart, the one that honeymooned you, the one that took you on dates, the one that said those wonderful things. That communication is what you're holding on to. The reality of it is you're not being treated right, and you're not accepting the reality. So go back to your C in the text, which is communication, and really look at what you said he's going to do, what he said he was going to do, and understand and try to figure out the change. There's a shift there. You just have to figure out where the shift happened. That's your key. C, communication. I have literally talked to men who are now divorced, and they tell me, you know, sometimes I go out on dates and I talk to women, and the women want to get married. And he's literally saying, hey, I did that. I don't want to get married. But they're still saying, I want to go out with you, as if they're going to change his mind. Remember to hear what you're hearing and not go with what your heart desires are. Because God will give you your heart desires to the right person in the right time and at the right season. And then T. T is just transform. Transform yourself. Once you go through and do your self-analysis of everything I taught you, you determined to do, you evaluated the situation, you came up and realized you don't want to be tormented anymore. Now you're working on yourself and you're getting your emotional intelligence together, and you're working on your composure and figuring out how you cannot respond in anger because your kids are watching you respond in anger, and you're teaching them those same seeds of responding in anger. Once you've gotten that fit together, now you're working on your communication skills for yourself and going back and realizing the change and shift. You can now transform your life. You can now transfer your life and your children's lives. Your life to go beyond great. And this is why we're here. We're here to go beyond great. So, I'm T. Renee Garner, and I have a wealth of information with you. Ladies, I'm coming out with a wonderful book. It's called Conquering the Man Monster. And in that book, I give you more tools, more man-monster warning signs, more great tips on how you can be aware. And I give you a bunch of stories that I haven't even had the time today to share with you about. Those stories will keep you laughing for a lifetime. Also, women, there is a play that I'm coming out with. It's called The Man Monster. What do you do when your man turns into a monster? It is a gospel comedy musical play that will be featured here in the D.C., Maryland area at 914 Silver Spring Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland at the Highwood Theater, November the 18th and 19th. There's 3 phenomenal shows that's coming up at 3/8 on the 18th and another matinee on the 19th at 3 p.m. This play is going to blow your mind away. It is literally based off of my story, an inspirational, powerful movement of how to go through and understand the mental illnesses that is attached with the abuse. The mental illnesses that you don't even know about that will take over your mind. And you don't even realize sometimes that you're being abused, but it's the mental, emotional part of the abuse that's not really talked about. We took that play and we took my story and we developed it into a funny, laughing, happy, but a clear message for girls 14, 15, and 16, all the way up to 60 years old. Listen, the man monster, what do you do when he comes for you? I have the keys to help you conquer the man monster. Go to www.themanmonster.com. That's www.themanmonster.com. I'm Renee Garner, and God bless you. Bye-bye.